Donald Trump's latest move has stirred more than just headlines. He's playing a game of political chess with Canada, and most people only see the noise. But behind that fury lies a strategy with real consequences. If you want to understand how this could hit your bank account, cost of goods, and the economy at large, you need to hear what everyone else is ignoring. Hit like, subscribe, and share this. Because when power moves behind the scenes, it's the prepared who stay safe. Stephen Moran, a key economic advisor to Trump, was confirmed by the U.S. Senate to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors by a narrow 48-47 vote. Moran will serve the remainder of a vacancy left by Adriana Kugler. He's expected to push for more aggressive interest rate cuts. Simultaneously, the administration's attempt to remove Fed Governor Lisa Cook failed in court, preserving her position. Because Moran holds dual connections to the White House, and because Cook remains, this injects tension into what is supposed to be an independent institution. That tension has consequences. Conflict of interest concerns. Moran has taken unpaid leave from his White House advisor role instead of full separation. Critics argue this limits his ability to be fully impartial. The Fed traditionally makes decisions insulated from political pressures. This move suggests Trump wants more influence over monetary policy. Financial markets hate sudden shifts. If investors believe the Fed is no longer independent, it could raise borrowing costs, increase inflation expectations, or lead to volatility. If the plan works, Americans might feel a short-term relief. But if it backfires, many could end up paying the price. If aggressive rate cuts occur, loans, credit cards, mortgages may become cheaper. That sounds good, but if inflation flares up, it may erode purchasing power. Lower rates often hurt savers who rely on interest. Fixed income returns could dip. Stocks might surge, but also risk sharper corrections if policy swings back. Cutting rates before inflation is firmly under control could spark more price increases in food, gas, housing, putting pressure on everyday expenses. Because interest rates affect different groups differently, wealthier people with investments may benefit. Renters or low-income groups may be the first hit when inflation or housing costs rise. So yes, Trump's plan might have appeal. Cheaper loans, promises of growth. But the flip side could hit harder than most expect. Political leverage, mortgages, loan rates, inflation are issues people feel deeply. If rates drop, politicians can claim credit for easing burden. Possible boost in public support. With tension over Canada, digital service taxes, tariffs, part of the plan seems to be sending a signal, compliance or consequences, reshaping how the Fed operates, who influences it. If one political administration can push through governors aligned to their views, it changes norms. But all these motives come with risks. When political games and economic policy mix, fallout can be unpredictable. Moran and the administration need to clearly show how they'll separate Fed decisions from political pressure. How and when the Fed cuts rates should be tied to data, inflation, unemployment, economic output, not just political promise. Ordinary people must understand these moves, because demand from the ground can push for accountability. Carefully weigh rate cuts with inflation, control to avoid devaluing savings or triggering other economic problems. Trump's secret plan against Canada, with Moran's confirmation at its core, may look like a power move, but it could alter everyday life in ways many aren't ready for. Whether you get relief with lower rates or feel the sting of inflation, one thing is certain, this plan changes the rules. If you want smart, nuanced breakdowns like this, not just headlines, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who deserves to know the truth behind what's happening. Because when the stakes are this high, being informed is not a luxury, it's your shield.